After 101 days of fighting, most of eastern Mosul has been liberated from ISIS control. Now, Iraqi troops will open a western offensive to capture the rest of the city. Ben Anderson reports from Mosul.
Eastern Mosul is now under the control of the Iraqi security forces, and the Iraqi flag is flying in every district east of the Tigris River. The Iraqi counter-terrorism services, Iraq's special forces, announced late last week that the eastern districts had all been cleared.
We are speaking about area more than 500 kilometers, we liberate that. More than 3,000 fighters, we killed them, more than 60 neighborhoods.
But in some neighborhoods, Iraq's conventional army have yet to clear the areas they've been assigned to. Remaining ISIS fighters seem determined to fight until the end.
So 3 days ago, the Iraqi counter-terrorism forces declared eastern Mosul liberated from ISIS. But that was slightly premature. There are still 4 or 5 neighbourhoods in the north of eastern Mosul that have to be cleared, and the Iraqi Army 9th Division are the ones who are clearing it.
عامر شبك عندكم عتاد؟ ما باقي عندنا شيء خليه الصراحه اجيب لكم عتاد ما هذيك اركض اخوي.
The army are going from house to house to ensure that there are no ISIS fighters remaining. Suicide bombers have been waiting in places like this, or in elaborate tunnels, waiting to attack. The lesser trained and equipped army are struggling with their mission.
من راح من الوقت المساحه هذا بقى حمزه ما الترجمه بس انت صعب من ضرب منو شلون يعني ما تشوف انت كان ذبح انت سلاح ثلاثه اللي يرمي من السلاح.
Second time in about half an hour, accidentally fired. Arabi, the neighbourhood we were in, is cleared. And we're now pushing on the next neighbourhood, which is called Medina. 200 metres away from here is not liberated. And that's when everyone has to start being careful.
For their part, ISIS have declared the liberated half of the city the land of the apostates, meaning everyone within it is now a legitimate target. Last week, ISIS's propaganda magazine Al-Naba featured a how-to guide for sarin gas, intimating gas attacks within Mosul in the near future.
So everyone's just run inside the mosque because there's a drone high above us, and they're saying that now the biggest danger from ISIS is remote-controlled homemade drones that have been flying over them, dropping grenades or C4 explosives, and then flying back, and they think that's one above us now.
In the neighbourhoods that have been cleared, evidence of ISIS's rule is everywhere.
So this is the Rafed liquor store, which has been smashed up and set on fire, and it's a full crate of lager, and it looks like they've pierced every single can and poured out every drop so that none of this alcohol can get drunk. And then just 2 doors down is a barber shop, and the sign's been burnt. The whole place has been set on fire and burnt out, supposedly because ISIS don't like barbers because barbers shave beards.
Over 1 million people were held captive by ISIS in Mosul over the last 2.5 years. As the eastern side of the city is now liberated, residents are attempting to rebuild their lives.
And what has life been like for the last 2.5 years?
توقفت الحياة توقفت وتراجعت ما بس توقفت نرجع لورا يعني رجعنا إلى زمن الفانوس اللمبة ورجعنا إلى مشاكل القديمة كاننا عايشين قبل 100 سنة.
Lots of people are leaving. Why are you staying?
والله هو أحسن ماكو أحسن من بيئة الإنسان. فإحنا نتحمل كل هذيك نتحمل هاي الفترة القصيرة تتأمل إن شاء الله خلال.
So you can walk or drive for hours, not just inside Mosul, but all around Mosul, and see destruction like this. Whole villages and districts entirely destroyed by the fight to get rid of ISIS. You can also see that airstrikes, American airstrikes, have been a major factor. And, you know, a big part of this campaign has been showing that the Iraqi security forces can stand on their own 2 feet again after getting so embarrassed 2.5 years ago when this was overrun so easily. And while the Iraqi security forces enjoy a brief rest, the operation to capture the rest of Mosul will soon begin. ISIS cannot hope to win, but they can make the Western offensive a very slow and costly one.